it's all about death. It's all about pain. It's all about destruction and the things you do in vain.
Live from the Alex Duffy Studios in sunny Santa Monica, California, it's the Alex Duffy Show, starring Alex Duffy, with this week's extra special 100th show guest, Amy Anderson. And now, the man who's going to spend his month off sitting on a beach in Aruba, sipping Mai Tais, Alex Duffy.
Life, it's all about you. It's all about me. Well, all that we have and all we foresee. So give it your best shot. It's all that you got. Might not be a lot, but that's all there is to life.
Break it on down, Alex.
Wow. Yeah. All right, let me turn off all this noise. Yep. All right then, folks.
It's kind of a downer theme song, man. What's up with that?
You don't remember that from last
Dude,
time?
I do, but remember when I was here the other time, you didn't have your electric guitar for some reason? And you did the acoustic version. It's like, life, it's all It was like the Mamas and the Papas version.
That's more like a Nick Drake thing. Commit suicide later. Yeah. Well, folks, I'm going to say it really quickly. It is the 100th Alex Duffy Show, and I am Alex Duffy. And Steve Lyon is.
The show?
Yes, and he's been on the show for 100 shows, too. So don't forget the master webcaster.
Oh. Don't ever call me that again, Alex. Ever.
Anyway, it's been a long, strange trip.
Oh, yeah.
And this is our third studio, and there will be a fourth and a fifth, and we hope, and many, many amazing things will happen. And we wanted to end our season with a bang, with a return guest, who is going to be on Premium Blend.
Yeah.
You don't get any higher than that.
Comedy Central.
Yes, you
Yes.
do. But that's
It's you're making progress.
Yes.
And you know what? If that's the end, then just shoot me now, because it's kind of suffering right now. But.
So we have the one and only, before I say her name, anything interesting in the news?
No.
Michael Jackson, but
Michael Jackson, everybody's beat to death on that
I don't
one.
want to hear about it anymore.
No,
it's
neither
just
do I.
gross.
No.
Then you have to imagine what was going on.
Medicare, but none of us are old enough to care about that.
Yeah.
That's about it. Some bullshit in Iraq. That's nothing new there.
Yeah. Now this day is November 25th, 2003, and nothing is going on. This is for the years ahead when people watch these archives in his history class. Nothing was going on.
You just gorged yourself on turkey at my place the other night.
Yes, that's right.
That's news.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Steve had a great turkey party.
Yeah.
And November 25th, 2003, there was a holiday called Thanksgiving. We had what we call pre-Thanksgiving.
Really?
Yes. Pre-Thanks.
All right.
If you're really cool, if you're really down, you go pre-Tanks. I was down for no. Okay.
No.
Okay. All right.
You're way too white, Alex.
Okay. It's the light. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
All right. We have our guest tonight. Funny lady, touring comedian, on Premium Blend, written up in the LA Times. She'll tell you all about it. Mm-hmm. The one, the only. You just saw her, but I'm going to say her name again. Amy Anderson.
Thank you. I'm going to clap for me.
Yes.
Give it up for me.
Give it up for me. Give it up for yourself.
So, 2003 was a very memorable year for you.
It was, and it keeps getting memorable because it's not over yet.
In a sense,
does that make sense? It keeps getting memorable.
Yes. That's
more memorable.
But this is like Amy Anderson interview part 2. Because when we left off, it was February 2003. Mm-hmm. Since then, we've been all over the place.
A lot has happened.
Yes. And Chopstick has been written up big time. And let me show the big time write-up.
Yes, the big time write-up.
It doesn't get any bigger than this, folks. This is the weekend write-up, and there it is.
Cover
right there.
story.
Yes, cover story.
Nice.
Chopstick.
Ooh.
Yes.
When did that come out? November?
Thursday, 2 Thursdays ago?
Oh.
It was, Thursday, November 6th.
Have you had a show since that came out?
No.
Oh, so that'll be
but
it was unfortunately the longest gap of time. It came out right after a show, and we're only once a month, so.
And here is Amy in the LA Times.
There I am.
As long as other quote-unquote ethnic comedians. Is that what they were calling them, right?
That's what they call it, and I hate that term because everybody is ethnic. Like, ethnic has become synonymous with a person of color or like
somebody non-white.
Yeah. And there's so many weird terms like that in show business that get thrown on Hollywood. Like, ethnic is one that I can't stand. And the other one term that they use a lot in casting is all-American girl or all-American guy. Which basically means they're looking for a white person. Like, why don't they just say, we're looking for a white person, you know? Because I don't think they're thinking of me when they say the all-American girl, but I am an all-American girl. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
You even speak American.
I speak American. Yeah. I think I'm more American than most white people. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Not that you...
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, can we see, just to whet the appetite, a clip from your premium
challenge?
Sure. Just don't tell anyone at Comedy Central. No, I don't think
we're going to just see a minute, and then, folks, if you want to see the rest, you must go to Comedy Central on December 5th at what time?
It's 10 p.m. Pacific Standard
Yes.
time.
All right. Well, let's see if I can fire up the clip here.
All right.
Fire it up?
We are going to fire up a clip.
It's the best way to have a clip.
Yes.
So they decided they wanted to retire in Hawaii. And I'm like the only Asian person my parents have ever met, okay? They think they're in a foreign country now. There's a lot of Asians there. And I called them up the first week. I'm like, Mom, Dad, how are you liking it? My mom's like, oh, yeah. We just love it. We love it here in Hawaii, Amy. We do. It's great. Yeah. And Amy, you know what? It's never cold. Doesn't snow. It's hot every day. Love it. Right. Yeah. That's great, Mom. And then she's like, oh, Amy, and you know what? They speak a foreign language here. They do. Like what? Mom, I'm guessing some of the people speak Hawaiian, probably? Yeah, they do. And it's a beautiful language, Amy. Our street names and our school names, everything is in Hawaiian. Oh, and Amy, guess the name of our street that we live on. Just guess. Like, Mom, I don't speak Hawaiian. How am I supposed to guess that? She's like, just guess. Amy, it's Poo Poo Place. Yeah, isn't that pretty? I'm like, no, Mom, that's actually kind of like a turd, you know? And my dad's on the other phone. He's like, yeah, and our cross-section is papipi. So I could not make that up, really. My parents do live at the intersection of poo-poo and papipi now. I'm very excited about it. Yes, very excited about it. It's an interesting thing.
All right, then. Poo-poo and pee-pee. I love it.
And it's all true.
I've actually seen you about 5 times this year. And you have
5 million times, right?
You actually have about maybe an hour's worth of material right now. And you pull different things out of your hat.
I try to mix it up because I think you've seen me at the Chopstick show
right.
several times, and I try to mix it up for that show, especially because we get a lot of repeat audience members. So, and you're always trying to write new stuff, and you're always trying to improve the old stuff. Like nothing's ever good enough for me, Alex.
Oh, you're just
including this show.
You're just onwards and upwards.
So I'm back for the second time, trying to improve it for you guys. But
we need all the help we can get.
Just trying to always make stuff better. So.
Now you said something interesting happened in the last couple of days. Or?
Oh yeah, something cool happened. So there's a link now. If you go to the Comedy Central website, there's a link where they're showing just little teaser clips, kind of like you guys just showed.
Right.
And then a little behind the scenes, they're showing me get my makeup done before the show, and I'm joking around about my hair and everything. And why am I even talking about that? Anyway, so that's on there.
Watch it.
That's on there, and so they released this tape to me that you just watched, which is the raw footage, the unedited. And so I've been sending that out to like bookers and all the industry that I know the tape, and then I also took the URL to that link and I sent it to every industry person that I had an email address for, and I got a request for a Tonight Show audition.
Wow!
Like within 10 minutes.
That's the big thing.
So it's pretty hot. Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of like a pre-audition thing where they want to see a set on tape.
Amy, you're gonna just outgrow us. You're just gonna be famous.
I'll be at the Alex Whiting show.
No, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. I got a good story for you. Okay, we had Rob Brackenridge on last week, right? And he lived in the same apartment building with Drew Carey and Bill Maher and a bunch of these guys, and he watched them go out, stratosphere. Well, he said, the big thing for Drew Carey was he went and he bought Joe Pesci's mansion.
Oh, my God.
Okay, that's how we're going to know you make it, when you buy Joe Pesci's mansion.
I don't know if I want Joe Pesci.
Although Drew Carey owns it now, but I would always think of it as Joe Pesci's mansion.
Although I wonder if Joe Pesci's mansion has like really short cabinets and stuff, because then I would buy it, because I could never reach the top shelf on any house. And it's funny that you mentioned Drew Carey, because I had a dream recently that I went on a date with him.
Wow.
And I'm sorry, dude, but no. And, like, I don't know where that came from. And the thing that was the funniest about the date was that he took me to his apartment, and his apartment was a crap hole. It was it was like a dump. But he was really proud of it because he said he was remodeling it or something, but everything was like cinder block, and there was no furniture, and it was like cement walls.
Do you run into him at the Improv? Because you're there quite a bit.
I see him there usually on Thursdays, but he doesn't really. I mean, hey, how's it going? Hey, I'm Drew, you know, that kind of thing. But
he has kind of an entourage? No, not really yet.
No, not at all. No, but he knows a lot of the he's friends with some of the comics that I hang out with, so we'll kind of sit there and I'll listen to him talk, and he'll be like, "And who are you?" And yeah, we're like this, me and Drew. What I'm getting at.
Right. Well, Chopstick is where you have your entourage.
My entourage. I don't know if they're quite entourage, but my peeps or my homies. Yeah.
And that's been, you've basically been developing that quite a bit until it culminated, you could say, with the All the Time story.
It certainly did, and it's good. I mean, it just keeps getting better and better because it started off really slowly, and I knew it was going to be slow because I had done a similar show at a different club, and it started slowly there, and I'm just like, just trust me, this is a new thing for the Asian American community. They're not going to run out in droves to come see comedy. They just don't. And so you've got to, you've got to educate the audience, and so they hung in there because the first audiences were really small, you know, like 20, 30 people, and they were just like, "What's going on, Amy? What's going on? We need to make more money." So, but I'm sorry, I should be dissing you. But I mean, the thing, you know, they're business people. They're running a business. And
well, you get the whole, you know, comedy business, as it were. It is totally capitalistic. It's sink or swim.
Completely.
There's no government handout or something going, okay, well, here's your comedy welfare check until you make it.
Right. That's art in general, unless you want to really go live and be a hermit somewhere.
Well, no, you get NBA grants.
You always get, there's
yeah, but not for comics, though. They discriminate.
Well, I actually thought of making a website at one point called, like, Adopt a Comic or something like that, where you could actually sponsor a comedian. Because I had this friend back in Minnesota. Hi, if you're watching, by the way, because I did email you about this. And she loves Cuba. She's a Cubophile, and her husband don't go down there for vacation every year. Right. And she met a professional cyclist down there, but you know he's really poor and he couldn't afford to buy equipment and bicycle clothing and stuff. So she would send him stuff all the time and money, and she kind of became his sponsor in a way. And I'm like, I need a comedy sponsor. She's like, yeah, you do. I'm like, wouldn't that be cool? Like to have somebody, you know, send me.
But then they be pulling
shares in yourself.
There's got to be some cheap, hoary way to make some money in Hollywood. There's got to be, without really doing anything.
Well, what has it been like since we last seen you? What is March? What was spring of this year like? What did you do? Where did you travel?
I have like a problem remembering anything chronologically, so I'll just tell you about the year in general. I really do. I think I'm actually a pretty intelligent person, but if I have one learning disability, I cannot put events in chronological order. I'm really even like if you go to me like, what did you do last week? Like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm like, these are the events that happened. Don't ask me in what order. But lots of things have happened. I did several college shows, which were fun. I've been to like Washington and South Carolina. And
how'd you go over in South Carolina? Did they love you?
Okay, that was Clemson. I'm sorry, but that was the worst comedy experience of my life. Not because of Clemson University, but because I was sick. I was really, really sick. That's one thing that I definitely this past winter, I got sick several times. I was sick when I was on your show last time. I got sick like 4 or 5 times over the winter. And that was one of them. And I had to fly all the way to North Carolina. I flew into Charlotte, spent the night at a friend's boyfriend's house, and I was just sick. I had a fever the whole time. Wow. Spent the night there, then had to get up early, rent a rental car, drive down to Clemson, had a fever the whole time, do the show, had a fever through the whole show, drive the car back up the next morning, you know, and fly back to Los Angeles. And I was just miserably sick the whole time. And I don't even know how I did it.
Did they make it worth your while in terms of the money?
Yeah, they still pay you, but that's the thing. It's like you can't be like, oh, I'm sick. I can't get sick. You don't do the show, you don't get any money, and you have to pay for the plane ticket.
So do you have to kind of walk through it when you go on stage if you're that sick? You just go.
I don't really know what happened.
Vomited on the stage and just
it was probably the worst show ever of my life. But yeah, I've been around. I went to Texas, went to Oregon.
Texas. Tell us about Texas.
I did a show at the fabulous Texas A&M Kingsville.
Wow.
And that was a pretty cool show. It was for a special orientation thing they were having for new freshmen. And
Now here they are in Texas, and they go,
No,
here's comedian Amy Anderson. Do you still get the thing that you talked about where they don't expect you to look like...
I get that everywhere, but I think there is a little something in the water down south. I do notice a difference between like the northern schools and the southern schools. They're just people are just slower, or I don't know. They're stupid, Alex, is what I Texas,
Dumbass.
no, they're not. But actually, the weirdest audience I think I had was in Platteville, Wisconsin. And
Platteville.
the kids, did you know Platteville?
I've been to Platteville, Wisconsin, actually.
Not a whole heck of a lot going on there.
No,
It's not even like a cute college town. It's just like a field with a college in the middle of it. And the kids there were really sweet and everything, and they have a pretty, for the size of the school, they have a pretty decent Asian student population. But this is so embarrassing. So one of the student diversity heads or something was there, and one of the Asian women. She was like, I told all the Asian students, I made all these announcements, I told them there's an Asian American comedian coming, you've got to see her, she's great, blah, 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 and everything. She's like, and none of them are coming because they have, most of them are engineering majors and they have a big test tomorrow. I'm like, could you be more ridiculously stereotypical Asian students? How lame. They're all engineering majors and they have a test, so they're going to study. Dorks. So, but the thing was...
want to make money. That's good, though, right?
Yeah, whatever.
They're college students. They're supposed to go out and have fun.
Right. I don't know. They should be out enjoying. See, I went to a really, really small school. Like, there were only 350 students in my school. So we didn't have stuff like that. We didn't have student activities. We didn't have parties. We didn't have, like, places where you could buy pizza, or there were magicians and ventriloquists and stuff like that didn't come to my school.
Right,
it was like, go to your room and entertain yourself. I mean, that was how exciting my school was. So,
Right.
and we didn't even do that because the campus was so small. You'd be busted immediately. You had to leave campus if you wanted a drink or anything. So, I mean, I just think it's amazing to me when I go to these like real schools and they have like restaurants, they're like Pizza Hut and Coca-Cola machines and swimming pools and telephones in their rooms. It's crazy.
Yes.
Libraries with books.
You also were in Vegas recently, too.
I was in Vegas at the fabulous Las Vegas Comedy Festival, and I completely underestimated that festival. I thought it was going to be the lamest
There's a lot of people there.
weekend of my life. I went there, I said, they get some decent industry there. If I can make one good connection, it'll be worth it, because I got invited to Showcase, so all I had to do was pay for my hotel.
Right.
And it actually was a pretty decent festival, because they've only done it for 2 years, so I thought it was going to be kind of bad.
Right.
But it was good. The seminars were mostly very interesting.
Seminars?
They had seminars from like 8:30 in the morning till 5
What
at night.
do they do in a seminar? Like, what's a typical seminar?
They had like auditioning for TV, women in comedy, the history of comedy. They had how to book yourself in comedy clubs, how to be funny. No.
Why are you doing this? Things like that.
Yeah, like get a life. Thanks for your money. Now go home.
Day jobs 101.
Suckers 101. Yeah. But they had some interesting stuff. I only went to like maybe 3 of the seminars. But they had seminars all day from like 8:30 in the morning till about 5, and then the shows would start, and they usually have like 3 or 4 shows each night, and then it was just like party till.
Were the shows pretty good?
Every night. That was the worst part of the festival. The seminars and the parties were really what made it worthwhile.
Oh, but the shows sucked.
The shows kind of sucked. Well, half the people were there invited as professionals.
Right.
That's kind of what happened with me. And the other people were invited as part of a contest. And they were really amateur. Like, I guess most of those people had like 5 years experience or less.
Right.
So the performances were all kind of scattered. Some were really good and some were bad.
Oh, did they
But
mix
the
that
venues
pros in
weren't
with
great.
the content?
No, they were pretty separate, but still, like, the venues were a little weird, and so the audiences were a little odd, and that was definitely the weakest part of it. But one of the other big highlights was I got to see the Smothers Brothers live, and they're like,
cool.
The Smothers Brothers were my first comedy influence, like other than my family, or like my first professional comedy influence, because my parents had all their albums when I was a kid, and I used to listen to them, like when I was like 7, 8 years old. And I just thought they were hilarious back then, and so to actually get to see them live was pretty cool. And then I was just at the Comedy Store just this week, and they were there. I was like, oh, there you are again. You're stalking me. So that was cool.
What have you been writing about lately? What's been one of your big subjects in 2003?
Well, I don't know if I have a big subject, but one really weird thing is that I've kind of been writing some dirty jokes lately, and I don't really do. She's like, oh, really? Tell some, baby. Come on. I've never really been interested in having dirty material, and even though my show right now, like if I did like my hour performance,
Right.
it's what I would call rated R material.
Right.
It's not a family show.
Right.
But it's not dirty.
Right.
but it's not a clean show.
It's like a light blue.
Like I can't work for like there's a company called Clean Comedians, you know, like and they pride themselves on having like family, not family style, but you know, like you could have kids there and they'd be fine. You don't have to worry about it. You know, I couldn't work for them, but I'm not a dirty comedian at all.
But what are the like?
You know, Andrew Dice Clay, in other words.
Yeah.
Lay a dirty joke on us. Lay a dirty joke.
Lay a dirty joke on us. See, now I get really shy about that kind of stuff. Lay a dirty. Well, I have this joke that I've been working on actually, and I keep telling everybody about it because I'm looking for a punchline. So if anybody watches this, email me.
Steve and I will try
Amy at amyanderson.net. You can email me. But this isn't, and I'm just going to fess up, this isn't my story. It was a friend of mine. It's her story, but when I tell the joke, I turn it into my story. But she was having sex with a guy for the first time who was like a dirty talker in bed.
Right.
And it kind of threw her for a loop because she's like, I'd never had that before. And it just started out with the whole, oh, fuck me, you know, do me, that kind of thing. And then he said to her, enjoy my cock. Now, when she was telling the story to me, if you're watching this, you're probably done. But when she told me the story, we were walking down the streets in New York City, and she said, and then he said to me, enjoy my cock. And she said it just like that. I'm like, I fell out. I was laughing so hard. I couldn't do that. So I have to turn that into some sort of a bit. So I've been trying to turn it into some sort of a bit, and I've experimented with it a little here and there, but I have not come up with the great
I saw you do the chopstick.
Yes, you did. I was just goofing around with it.
Then towards the end of the shows, a couple of guys in the audience were yelling out, enjoy my cock.
Enjoy my cock! Yeah. And I was like, all right, are you cute? I'll see you on the show. But, yeah, so I'm still looking for a good punchline for it, though.
There's got to be one.
Yeah.
There's got to be. It's just a very funny
It's a good
story.
setup. It's a good setup.
It's a good
It's
setup.
a spectacular setup. Yeah.
Enjoy my cock. So there's got to be something to that. But I can't believe I'm saying that right now. And my parents are probably watching this.
Oh, it's okay. They're like, oh, it's
a good Midwestern
God bless
girl.
America. It's free speech, you know.
Yeah, my dad doesn't even have a cock, so.
Oh no.
No, just because that would be dirty.
Ah. Well, any other great adventures in 2003?
Great adventures in 2003.
Like stranded in the middle of Polkville, Indiana, and you're just like, how am I going to get out of here?
Well, I just missed a couple of natural disasters. Like when I was in Kingsville, I just barely by the skin of my teeth missed that hurricane. And then I just missed the blackouts in New York, too. Like I keep just missing stuff. I'm really lucky. Like, just behind me, so get out of town, here comes Amy. Nothing super, I can't say anything really super exciting.
But you've just basically been touring a lot. You've got Premium Blend. You've got the LA Times write-up. You have the possible Tonight Show gig, the audition, right?
I'll be happy if I get the audition. Yeah. But, well, here's the cool thing is that, I mean, my goal for 2004 is to try to get onto TV, not as a stand-up, but you know, try to get the sitcom work or something like that.
Now we're at the next step phase.
So that's the next step phase. We're like went from and now we want to go So and this it's hard to get there. So right now I'm writing a sitcom treatment with a friend of mine who's a writer, which is it's coming along really well. I think
Ideal
it's
sitcom,
funny.
would it be the Amy Anderson show, or would it be a sitcom with you as one of like an ensemble?
Here's the thing: if sometime this pilot season somebody offered me a regular role on whoever's sitcom, I'd take it. It does not have to be the All About Amy Anderson show. I'm not held by nothing. Because that's a lot of pressure to carry a show. And somebody, I think it might have been Eddie Brill or somebody was saying in Las Vegas at one of those seminars, they said, it's not a coincidence, and I don't know why the networks don't look at this, but any sitcom that has ever lasted longer than 2 years, the comedian the show was built after has been doing comedy for a minimum 12 years. Anybody who's done comedy less than that, look at their show, and it failed in less than 2 years.
So they're thinking,
That's true.
They're thinking of Seinfeld, they're thinking of the Drew Carey show, where those guys are doing it forever until they got a show. Ray
Romano, those guys have been doing comedy for years and years and years and years. So there's something to that. You can't just be some schmuck and funny for like 7 minutes.
How many years do you have in?
Ocho is my Spanish.
That's great. That's great.
So 8 years. So. And 4, I could have my own show, and then for right now, I'll be on somebody else's. But I am working on a sitcom treatment, mainly just to pitch it. I don't expect anything to happen with it, but I just like to get it out there because I think there's a lot of potential in it. I think it's a really good premise and it'd be a really good show.
Let's say there was a part available, like you'd be part of an ensemble. You know, kind of like the Drew Carey show. There's 4 people. Seinfeld, there's 4 people. There's other shows not just around one character, but you have Friends of 6 people and everything. What kind of character would you want to be? that you could do every week and not get sick of it? And I know the money would make you not get sick of it, but I'm just saying, like, what would you want to do, or it'd be something that you could actually
creatively,
creatively
stimulating.
speaking. Yeah.
What kind of character? I don't know. That's hard for me to say because right now, like the thing that I'm writing, it's very much based on me.
Okay.
And I'm doing all this like.
Based on you, like the way you grew up, or the way you are now? Or?
A big combination of
Okay.
both of those things. My background and kind
Autobiographical.
of somewhat to a great extent.
Oh.
But thinking about playing a character.
Well, in other words,
I don't know.
I mean, obviously the ideal thing would be someone...
Something funny, Alex.
Like you could play a comedian or something, right? Who's
I wouldn't want to play a comedian.
What I'm saying, that's too easy.
So
That's too easy.
dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
Maybe.
Drew Carey plays like this guy who's like human resources character.
Right.
So I'm saying, so what would you want to do?
I might like to play like a dork or like somebody who's just kind of because totally different from how I really am in real
I was
life.
going to say, you'd be a really good dork.
But you know what? One thing that I really feel like I could not play is like a really sultry, sexy person. Like I don't think I could do. I mean, I could if I had to. I've got years of acting experience, but I never imagined myself playing a role like that. It might be fun to do it just because it would be a big challenge for me. It would be so
stretch.
removed from.
Now,
That's
I
what you
don't
should do.
feel sultry at
That's
all.
exactly what you should
The
do.
sultry Amy Anderson show.
You should take chances and do what you do. It's the hard thing for you to
Leave
do.
the
What if
safe
I
harbor.
hate being sultry? You know? I might get, no matter how good the money is, I could get sick of being sultry.
Now, would you want your character, because you brought up the issue of being an Asian comedian, and the people notice it,
Right.
and yet they shouldn't because it's just all about the funny.
Right.
But if you played a character, would you want that character to be any? In other words, would you? If they go, oh, we'll have you play.
Can you ching chong it up?
No. I don't mean that. But they go, we want you to play.
Oh.
You're going to play an engineer, and you're going to wear thick glasses, and you're always going to be looking for a date. That kind of thing. You know what I mean? If they wanted you to play a character like
If
that.
it were because she was Asian, I'd say screw you. But
But if you got cast that, but they didn't say because you're Asian. They didn't say that. You know what I mean?
I could do it if the situation were right. It'd have to be pretty. I'd have to see the exact situation.
I mean,
because those things can get really touchy. They're really fine lines and.
I mean, 30 years in Hollywood, that's what they would have done if they had introduced a new Asian character.
Right.
Is the Hollywood of today different? They wouldn't think in those terms?
It's different, but it's slowly different.
So kind of keep your wits about you. Make sure you don't get pigeonholed into that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you still do. I mean, I do tons of commercial auditions. And, I mean, of course, that's the extreme because you're marketing. And they're going to sell to the stereotype because the stereotype is out there. And I think for the first 6 months of this year, I did not go to an audition where I wasn't playing a scientist.
Really?
Or a doctor of some sort.
Oh my
or an engineer.
God. Well, that's what I'm talking about.
A lab coat position.
Yeah.
Like in everyone, it was like white, put on a white coat. And not that that's like the worst stereotype to be living up to, but but it's weird. I mean, it does happen all the time, and it's like, why can't people just be people? Like, why can't I just be like the girlfriend or the wife or the daughter or the whatever? I mean, you always have to be the Asian wife or the Asian
There's
sister.
always that prefix in the beginning.
Right.
Well, especially like in LA, you do have a lot of mixed marriages. Like
They're
my
all
wife
over.
is Chinese.
Right.
Now, how come there's not a sitcom that takes place in LA with a white guy and an Asian woman?
There have been some attempts, and they always got canned before the pilot phase because they didn't think people would watch it. And Ming Na, she was the Asian doctor on ER.
Right.
She had a gig going where it was her and, I don't know if it was a boyfriend or husband, but he was black.
Right.
And I think she's Chinese. So anyway, and that got canned. And what else got canned? There's a comedian named David J. Nash here in town who's a really super funny guy. And in real life, his wife is Korean American, and he had a sitcom development deal. And they even shot the pilot. But before they got to pilot phase, they said, your wife's not going to be Asian. She's going to be a white woman.
That's so weird.
And it's like, well, she is. And I don't know. I guess they just feel like America's not ready to watch it. Or they're not going to watch it. They don't want to watch it. And a lot of people don't. Frankly, a lot of people won't watch it.
Well, I think in their heart of hearts, there's this thing in the back of their mind that this isn't marketable. Mm-hmm. This is controversial in a way that shouldn't be controversial. But they go, but are we going to take a chance on the marketing of this? Mm-hmm. And that's probably the back of their mind. Marketing. Can we market this? Better not take a chance.
Right.
Something like that.
Well, it's all money. It's all about money. There's no creative involved in the network. They just want money. So it is all what's going to sell. And unfortunately, interracial couples aren't going to sell. But it's starting to change, because there's a Hewlett-Packard commercial out right now with an Asian woman and a white guy, and they're a couple, and they show them.
Really? Yeah, I've seen that ad. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and I've seen a couple things just kind of small and random like that. So it's starting to change a little bit.
Need something like HBO to step in and do something like that.
Yeah, because they would have the guts to do it.
That's something they would do.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good point.
Well, if you ever find out about my sitcom treatment, I think you'll be very excited about it.
What time do we have, by the way?
It's 8:30 right now.
Okay. Well, now we are at the point where we need to close.
We have to do the surprise. Can we do the surprise?
Yes,
quick?
the surprise. Yes.
So, okay. This is not Victoria's Secret underwear.
You know it looks like it. No. All right.
I knew it was a special occasion, so I brought you guys cake.
Oh, wow.
I brought you cake.
Hey, you are too
Holy
much.
shit,
Right.
that's awesome.
So, okay, now wait,
Wow.
now. You have to take the cake, take the top off.
Take the top off, okay.
Wow, look at this.
All right.
And then I went to the store this afternoon, and they told me that the bakery already closed, and they wouldn't write anything on here for me. I'm like, will you write Happy 100? And they said, no. I'm like, please? And they're like, no, it's bakery is closed. I'm like, all right, well, screw you then. So I had to buy the 100.
You just are the coolest
awesome.
guest ever.
And then,
okay,
and then we're going to light it. We're going to light the studio on fire.
It's okay.
Sweet.
It's okay.
And then we can end
There's
with
a fire
you blowing out the
extinguisher.
special.
Oh,
Downstairs.
Kicks ass.
That rocks.
Thank you very much for this.
You're welcome.
You're
Very cool.
so cool.
A special occasion.
Wow.
And I wanted some cake. So the bottom line, this really has nothing to do with you guys, as much as you'd like to think it does.
Wow.
Totally
wanted
kicks
cake.
ass.
Just
All right, so here's our special moment here in the Alex Duffy Show, 100th episode.
Thank you.
Alex?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll get a close-up on that.
All right.
Wow. Wouldn't it be great if you just dumped that? That'd be awesome.
Wow, that is so cool. Well, Amy, thank you.
You're welcome.
So cool that you can do that.
Yeah. What a
Kicks
thoughtful
ass.
person you are.
All right.
We think you both think you deserve success, and we think you're just the most fantastic guest and the best comedian. But now we want you to do like the next, I don't know, Julia Roberts or something. I mean, but not.
You guys just want more cake. Just want more
Just suck
cake.
it up to you, even though we don't need to anymore.
Enjoy my cake.
There you go. Yeah. Then you could have said a few weeks later, I was at a friend's house and he had a birthday, and he goes, "Enjoy my cake." Yeah, there's your first line. Punchline, right?
Something like that.
And then I mean a direction you can go in.
I'll think about the cake direction.
That's awesome.
Well,
Blow out the candles, Alex.
All right.
you blow them with me. It's okay.
Okay, ready?
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome
All
job.
right. Well,
Very cool.
Thank you, Amy.
You're
Yeah. I mean, we have to end on this positive note. Are we in the Q zone?
Yeah, I can get there. Yeah, hold on.
Okay. We're almost in the Q zone. So, any other hopes and dreams and aspirations for 2004 besides the sitcom? I thought a movie.
A movie would be nice.
A movie role.
Yeah.
Where you play.
And a nice boyfriend, maybe.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about my dating life. Crazy.
Well, don't you get like when you travel on the road, don't you meet guys?
Female comedians do not meet guys.
Really?
And guy comedians always complain that they don't get the action either, but that's bullcrap. They
I've
do.
seen them do
Unless they're really ugly guys. Even the ugly comedians, if you're funny, they pick up chicks. Totally.
Oh,
They're always like, oh, musicians are the one that get laid. I'm like, you know what? Guys get laid. Well, I guess I get laid with somebody,
Right.
but it's not female comedians.
Oh, no.
No, it's not. I'm not nearly as desperate as I'm making it sound, but it's been an interesting year in my personal life.
Wow.
Interesting.
Ominous tones.
Have you thought of doing a blog on your brand new amyanderson.net website? Which
Oh,
looks
yeah.
great.
Check out amyanderson.net.
Yeah, and it's brand new
Nice.
and it's very good looking.
Yeah.
And do you think you've ever kept a blog in there or something? Like you're.
That would be a good idea.
I do want to do something, but then I'm so worried that I'll write something that'll like about a friend.
Don't
or
mention
something
people by
personal.
name.
I know, but they know who they are.
Give them a pseudonym.
You can
Give
just
the
write
people
your,
give them
write
a
your
paper.
opinions about stuff.
I
you know,
guess. Yeah.
You can just write Texas.
I would like to because
It
it's good to write. I like
I
to
would
write.
totally
I'm trying to
read
write.
it.
I would totally read it too. Yeah.
I'm gonna write about you guys then.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Slavis.
They're probably
I brought him a
gay.
cake.
What a couple of dorks. Yeah, Alex like has a wife. I know what's going on.
Yes.
All right, are we ready, Maestro?
ready to go,
All right,
yeah.
Amy, thank you so much.
Thank you, Alex.
Thanks for the cake. That
Remember,
kicked
folks.
ass.
Yes, thank you.
I love cake.
Premium blend, folks.
December 5th.
December
Friday,
5th.
December 5th.
Yes.
All right.
yes.
At what time? 8 p.m.
10 p.m.
10 p.m.
Pacific. And if you're in the Southern California area, come to Chopstick at the Improv on Saturday the 6th at midnight.
Wow,
Other
double.
times can be seen on amyanderson.net.
Yes, everything's on amyanderson.net. All of it.
Amy Anderson.net, a rockin' website with cool
Bravo.
photos.
Yes.
Yes. All right then. Well, folks, it is the end of the 100th show. We will not be back on the air until January 6th, but we will have a special guest, Nick Swardson.
Also from Minnesota.
Yes. Another guy whose career is going like this.
All right.
And but we are taking a break to retool, to relax, and to rejuvenate. So, thanks for all of you for tuning in. Thank you, Steve, for 100 shows.
Well, thank you, Alex.
It has been
It's been lovely.
a long,
Lovely.
strange trip. So, okay, folks. Good night.